Finally, Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan was the second best coach on his team today. He was the best head coach on the field. Mike McDonald messed this one up. Don't know what he was doing. And it was funny. Having a bad kicker kind of brought out the best in Kyle Shanahan because he kept going for it on 4th and 2, whereas freaking Mike McDonald kicked a field goal on 4th and inches. Maybe if his kicker was Jake Moody, he would have went for it and they would have won. Maybe I just realized why Jake Moody is so important because he compels Kyle Shanahan to be aggressive on 4th down, which I love. Less field goals, more 4th down conversions, especially when you have a $53 million a year quarterback. Trust him. So I just talked myself into the Niners keeping Jake Moody. It brings out the best in Kyle. If they get rid of Jake and bring in like a good kicker, you're never going to see the Niners score another touchdown. Seriously, though, stop overusing Christian McCaffrey, man. We've been talking about it for freaking 3 years. You did it last year. You talked about keeping him fresh this year, not repeating the past. And you give him 31 touches week one. Week one. It's an important game, and obviously you don't want to lose to a divisional rival. Week one, he's not going to make it. He's not going to make it to October if you play him like this. And your season is going to go up in smoke without him, even though he's not what he used to be. He's better than Brian Robinson, and he is the number 2 receiver on this team while Kittle and Jennings are out. Pearsall 1, McCaffrey 2. Give Shanahan credit for like winning the time of possession. But that's kind of easy to do when your defense is balling, playing lights out, and forcing 3 and outs. This guy needs to show that he's the right coach for this team. Your offense has been together for like 8 years. Juszczyk has been in this team for 9 years. And you scored 17 points? Now, it should have been 23, but why wasn't it? Because of Jake Moody, because you have Jake Moody, because you wanted Jake Moody. I'm not just talking about Kyle, the offensive coordinator. Kyle, the head coach. You're responsible for every Jake Moody miss. You're responsible for every Brock Purdy interception. You wanted him. You decided he was worth $53 million a year. You call those passes down the field. I think Kyle's under a lot of pressure because Robert Saleh is back. Robert Saleh is really good. And I don't think the fans, the team, or the organization wants to lose him again. He's too freaking good. When the Niners are really good, the defense is the engine. And if the defense can play like this the rest of the season, it's a contender. Regardless of what Kyle does with his offense and what happens on special teams. So Kyle is now riding shotgun on his own team. You know it. He knows it. The players know it. How's that going to go? Something to keep in mind. I'm getting way ahead of myself. One game at a time. They're 1-0, but it's got to be a weird feeling when in the plane home, Robert Saleh's a freaking star and everyone's going up to him, hugging him, and Kyle's over there trying to figure out how he scored 17 points. What happened? Oh, you had injuries? Okay. Well, maybe you shouldn't have the oldest freaking offense in the league. Oh, your 31-year-old tight end got hurt? Okay. Oh, your 28-year-old wide receiver who skipped training camp got hurt? Word. For sure. Okay. You made this. This is the offense you wanted. You said, got old players. It's okay. If they get injured, well, they got injured. That's why Saleh's kind of nice. He plays young players, and young players often are a little bit more durable. I would give Kyle Shanahan like a C for this game. C-. Overused McCaffrey. Had nothing in the red zone after Kittle went down. The red zone offense was throw to Jake Tonjes and pray, and it worked. And even Richard Sherman was tweeting during the game about Jake Moody. Like, I don't understand this. Like, kickers are easy to find. What's the deal? The deal is that Kyle Shanahan hates being wrong. He drafted Moody. He defended Moody. So let's try this. Kyle, whatever you do, don't cut Jake Moody. Don't do it. I think you should stick with Jake Moody. A good coach would stick with Jake Moody. A good coach would believe in Jake Moody and turn his career around. Whatever you do, don't give up on Jake. If you keep Jake Moody, you're following my advice. How does that feel? If you stick with Jake Moody, you're only following my advice and you're confirming to everyone that you watch this show and you're a fan of my takes if you keep them. Prize Picks will give you $50 when you play your first $5 lineup. Win or lose, you'll get $50 for playing. Use promo code Cohn, C-O-H-N, and download the app now. If you cut Jake Moody, you really shove it in my face because I told you to keep him. Think about that. If you keep him, you're only doing what I told you to do, and you hate that. So keep Jake Moody, whatever you do. You're welcome, Niner fans. Deshaun DeVoe says, so you're telling me the kicker has a longer leash than the quarterback you spent 3 first-round picks on? Well, yeah, they spent 3 first-round picks on Trey Lance, but they spent a 3rd-round pick on Jake Moody, and you don't just throw 3rd-round picks away. Now, you also spent a 3rd-round pick on Trey Lance, but you don't just throw 3rd-round picks away. He's going to turn it around, guys. Pascal, L Spaceman, says, hard to blame the O-line when it's obviously not going to get addressed. It's been 9 years. Kyle has apparently built his O-line exactly how he wants it. That's true. Focal Point 11 gives $1. Thank you very much, Brandon Ayuk. Jorgen 1990 says, big up Grant, sack Moody tonight. I can't do that. I would try. Ruben Bocanegra says, why is Kyle keeping Moody joined stream late? What did Kyle say? Hold on. What was the exact quote? Wait a second. Where you at? I want to hear. Hold on.
Worst case scenario on all those hours. All was awesome job not in the end zone when the ball. That was pretty good. Was he forcing it a little bit? I don't know if he hit. I think it was Jake Thomas.
Where you at? There it is. Hold on. Here it is. So the question is, when you say there's no question about Jake Moody's job security, why is that? I love Eric Branch. Great question. It's the way you guys ask it, says Snarky Kyle. Right now, I have no question. I'm trying to finish today. I'll get on the plane and evaluate stuff and go back at it. So as of today, there's no questions with Jake Moody's job security. But once Kyle Shanahan goes on the plane and ponders about it and watches the film, that could change. I'm kind of tired of Kyle Shanahan messing with words and parsing answers. Like, dude, just tell you what you. I have no question with his job security. Actually, we're going to cut him tomorrow. Which one is it? Anyway, good question from Branch. That was his answer. If I were Jake Moody and I heard that answer, I wouldn't be feeling like I'm going to be on this team much longer. Frisco Shill says Kyle gave the same answer about Moody that he gave when asked about firing Wilkes. What's the over-under on Moody being cut by Tuesday? Yeah, I think that, they'll have kicker tryouts on Tuesday, and they'll probably cut Jake Moody Tuesday night. I don't think they're going to want to have Jake Moody's face in the organization ever again. I don't think he's going to be on the practice field on Wednesday. Because you know what? If he is, that's the story. Not McCaffrey. Moody kind of benefited from that McCaffrey drama the last few days. Everyone was like, well, what's up with McCaffrey? When really the question is, why is Jake Moody still here? Oh, McCaffrey's healthy? But you know what? So is Moody. And that's more important. Lee Hollywood H says, man, I wish my mom and dad and wife loved me like Kyle loves me. Okay. On that note, I got to catch a flight, go home. I like to fly home after these West Coast games. Seattle, it's been real. People, thanks for watching me. Matthew Chietro. So is the plan to run CMC into the ground again? Yes. If you don't know Kyle by now, you will never, never, never know Kyle Shanahan. Ooh. If you don't know Kyle by now, you will never, ever, ever know Kyle Shanahan. And that's the story. Devin Gregory says, Purdy has shown he's not good without talent. Neither am I. That's what I have in common with Brock. But today, I'm a Jake Tonjes fan. The most valuable Jake on the team. It's been a pleasure. Thanks for watching. I'm out.